Our next speaker is from really, really far away. So it's Juan Eduardo Carmach. I'm sorry for the pronunciation. You have probably the longest distance to us from all participants. I mean, looking at the list of participants, at least it seems so. So you're from Chile, and I'm very happy that we could invite you to this event, and that you will explain to us how Chile is implementing ESCO in different platforms for career guidance and matching. So please, floor is yours.
Perfect, thank you. And good afternoon to everyone, and especially to the team that is back in Chile before the sun rises and in a bank holiday there. So everyone that is connected, thank you very much. So let's go first. Thank you for that. So as I was saying, since 2021, we've been using the ESCO taxonomy for skills-based profiling and career guidance, and our project helps people adapt to a fast-changing labor market. And instead of starting from scratch, people can use our platform to build on their existing skills to enhance their career prospects. This project is a public-private collaboration. It includes SOFOFA, the Chilean Industry Association I'm representing today, but also we work in a partnership with the Inter-American Development Bank and the Ministry of Labor in Chile. So we started this project with a diagnosis I think everyone attending the conference share, is that the accelerated technological and social transformations of the fourth industrial revolution are changing all occupations, and digitalization, artificial intelligence, and the green transition are the main drivers behind that transformation. We saw that transformation in the presentation of the ESCO team earlier today, so I don't think I need to explain it very much. But this change in landscape, in this landscape, really the way of managing human capital, the traditional way of doing it, cannot keep up. And we experienced that in very practical ways. So for example, in training programs, massive training programs for digital skills, we were teaching the same exact content to an IT technician or a sociologist or a journalist without acknowledging their background or their needs. Or when facing a large outplacement problem, for example, when a large company is projecting their layoffs, we realized that neither public or private programs at the time were sufficient because they were understanding people as occupations without using their skills as a starting point for a new career path. So from this diagnosis, we realized first that this is a global problem, and we look for global solutions. This led us to the ESCO team, with whom, and they're extremely generous in this sense, with whom we realized that we needed to invert the logic of our thinking. And instead of thinking first of qualifications or thinking first in terms of occupations, we needed to put first skills as the foundational unit. And instead of thinking of occupations and skills connected as in an old music album, we needed to think of skills inventory. And in that sense, we could think of them as a playlist of skills, and that playlist of skills is the starting point of a path to many different alternatives for them to capitalize what they know. So in that sense, and you might be wondering, what exactly is Relink and how does it works? Relink is a web platform. It's a web platform designed to help people profile themselves based on their skills and the skills that they have acquired throughout their lives, the skills they acquire in their work and in their educational experiences. And the platform, what it does is that it facilitates the search for relevant skills for each one of those experiences, and it analyzes the inventory of skills against job market demand So it helps them to understand multiple options. And in that way, it facilitates the work of career guidance. So in a very simple example, and if you are not grasping yet how the platform works, don't worry, I'm going to show it in a minute. So in a very simple example, let's think of a bank teller that lost his job and is looking for a new one. He might start looking for another work as bank teller, and after a while, without finding one, he might undergo a lengthy training program to qualify to a new occupation, let's say working in the front desk of an hotel. Let's think now on how we approach this problem in Relink. The bank teller, before losing his job, knows he has skills. He has skills in math. He has skills in software. He has skills in customer services. And using Relink, he can see that he already has 75% of the skills needed from another occupation. In this case, again, the front desk of an hotel. And what he needs is just a short training to improve his language capacity in English. The process is much shorter. There's less uncertainty in the case of the job seeker, and the training resources are optimized in this way. So let me move to a very, 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 very short demo on how this works. And I hope you're seeing the right screen now. This is Relink, and I'm going into my own profile now. So as you can see, welcome Juan, everything's in Spanish, so bear with me. In this profile, what we have in the platform is first, my experiences. And you can see here my 8 last different jobs. For each one of them, there's a list of the skills I acquired. And the skills I acquired were identified using the platform. Also, I have my educational experience as an engineer and as a master in public policy. So how does this look specifically? Let's enter this one. I was the director of development and research in a public sector service. So probably you can relate with the skills I have. So here, I identify already 23 skills I do have related to this job using the platform. So I can write academic papers. I can write policy papers. I can also foster the transfers of knowledge to a larger audience. But what I don't know is, for example, techniques of interview. I don't have a qualitative background. I've never been in the field interviewing people, so that's correct. All the skills are here because the platform knows that the skills related to this specific occupation. So then we can see my full inventory of skills. I have more than 250 skills. Most of them are skills that are, transferable skills. Most of them can be used in multiple sectors and occupations. Some of them are sector specific. So with this skills inventory, the platform then goes and says, what are my opportunities? I work a long time managing projects, so it's reasonable that it says that I have a 77% match with project manager. But also, if I want to move to a more digital job, maybe I can try a Scrum Master job. I have already half of the skills. Or in a less conventional path, I can move to be a specialist in environment or a specialist in automation. And inside, we can see all the relevant information. So for the automation job, I know about algorithms. I know how to develop, how to design processes. But what I lack is, for example, I don't have knowledge of robotics and I don't have the skills on telecommunications. So what I need is a very technical training to move to that path. That is the quickest demo ever. I hope you understand what's going on here. So moving back to the presentation, these processes work. These processes work with real people. So we can see here how we work with them in high school settings, in plants, and we have already profiled more than 7,000 people, and we are performing our qualitative and quantitative evaluations that I think seems promising so far. So the question now is how we do career guidance. And in terms of people, you have seen, we showcase different options to them, but that's not everything that we do. We also develop skill packages that bond together the skills that can be learned together to facilitate a more efficient training supply. And also we work with companies, helping them to create career paths for their employees. So you might be wondering how this relates with ESCO. So starting from ESCO, what we did first is to create our own sectoral skill studies. Why? Because we needed to identify what skills are relevant in Chile using the information that is in ESCO, and also to ensure that there was a maximal relevance with the skills that were on demand. With this, we create our own taxonomy. We discovered that we needed to adjust the information, the rich information of the ESCO taxonomy, and we are working with the Inter-American Development Bank to expand a taxonomy for Latin America, using the information of ESCO, but using also all other sources of information. With that, we built our profiling platform, as you saw, and this profiling platform uses a subset of data that is curated to be relevant for on-demand industry jobs, just like we saw on the example on Denmark. And the other elements of this large ecosystem are that we are working on a skill matching platform to try to assess the job searching sites of the government, and also everything fits back into a larger labor market forecasting system that we are building. So with everything in mind, what are the benefits of Relink? First, and it's very clear, we help to recognize the skills developed in people. We also see the potential of people in a transforming labor market. We help to focus the training efforts of the country, and in that way, we reduce a lot of resources in terms of cost and time. And what have we learned? Well, first, we learned that ESCO is an excellent place to start if you want to build a profiling and career guidance project. Second, although we start thinking about training and reskilling, we realized that the potential of using portable skills on human capital development are much bigger. We are helping companies, we are helping students, we're helping the higher education sector, or we want to do that. We can work on larger workforce development programs, workforce planning programs, so the possibilities are endless in a way. Also, we are now understanding the value of profiling. Even without training, it helps people to enhance their self-awareness, to enhance their self-esteem, to build their employability skills. Also, we are learning a lot about the need to customize the data, not only in terms of the granularity and in terms of the ontology work needed, but also how different levels of personalization and customization are needed for different use cases and business cases. And finally, we realized that you need to build a fairly comprehensive system around ESCO to fully impact society. So in case you want to find us, sorry, there's a few QRs that I can put here for a few seconds. I'm sure we're going to share the presentations so you can find us there. Thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you very much, Juan. And there are a few questions in the chat, and I think my colleague Valentina is supposed to monitor these sessions. So Valentina, please.
Thank you. So thank you both, Dimitrios and Juan, for your questions. We see that Dimitrios' one was very clear, so that there are no question, but there's actually extra interest in, Juan, what you were just presenting. So one of the first question is actually referring to the percentage or the level of given skills that you were presenting, for example, for the IT project management, and how is it calculated? On which basis was it taken? And just if you can say a bit more details on that aspect.
No, it's quite straightforward. Is the percentage of skills that you have in your inventory compared to the skills needed in that specific occupation. No, not rocket science there.
Okay, and looks like the second question goes more on the education training side. So there's a question if do partial qualifications play a role in your platform, or are you only looking at straight development pathways to full qualifications?
Sorry, I didn't fully understand the question. It's a question about micro credentials instead of full
I
programs?
think it's more on the side on like the trainings that are offered and for the qualifications inside your platform. Are they more on the side of like training or?
So first a clarification, we don't offer training, but we work with the training supply. And the project has meant to rethink how training is done in the country. So instead of going to lengthy trainings with all the skills and people come to the same program, what we're thinking now is that you need to create packages or skills that are compatible and teach them in a way that different people with the specific need can take that specific portion and build their own program to fill the gap that they have.
Great. And maybe for taking from the previous sessions that we had, if you can give us a bit more detail on the languages that you use. So I guess it's mostly Spanish and English. And if you're familiar with any other, I guess, because in the morning we also had some questions on the use of ESCO outside. If you have any knowledge of similar examples in the countries of your neighborhood.
So yes, first, it is only Spanish, but as we aspire to work in Latin America, you will realize soon that Spanish is 27 languages in Latin America. So the work on ontology is quite intense to understand that. And I'm sure the people that speak Spanish will relate to this. Fontanero, gas fitter, and they're the same occupations, but they are different in different countries. So we're working on that. And yes, we are aware of different initiatives in the region, and we are working with the bank very intensely to learn from them and try to teach from our own experience. We think we are leading the way in the continent and learning from ESCO. So learning from what you're doing in Europe and translating that to Latin America.
Great. And maybe the last questions, we can then move on to the next sessions. Maybe you can give us a bit of number of the users that you have on your platform, just for the other users the other listeners to have the bigger overview.
We're still piloting. So we have 7,000 experiences so far of profiling and a bit less in terms of full trainings. I don't have the numbers with me right now, but that's the order of magnitude of what we're doing.
Great. I guess with this, we have extra information as well from your side. Thank you very much. I don't see anything in the chat other than asking for recording, which we repeat, it's going to be available again. So I give floor again back to Lambert, and we can, I believe, continue with the next sessions directly.
Yeah, thank you very much, Valentina. Let's move on. And thanks again to Juan. I don't know if you didn't go to bed or if you got up early to be with us. Whatever it was, thank you very, very much for your effort. And I think the feedback in the chat confirms that it was a worthwhile effort. So thank you again. Now.